Yeah, welcome back to Sunday Brunch Live. We're joined by David Lindo, also known as the urban birder. What on earth is an urban birder?
Well, a birder, per se, is a modern, stylish new way of saying bird watcher. So effectively, I watch birds. An urban birder is someone who watches birds in cities. Simple as that, really.
Right.
But there is a distinction to be made, because there are birders, and birders are sometimes called twitchers. There's nothing wrong with twitchers, but twitchers are people who rush off looking for rare birds. So I could be with you now and suddenly get a phone call, say, Tim, Simon, I've got to go, there's a rare bird in Norfolk, and I run off to get it.
Right.
Because I want to tick it off my list and get more birds than my mate, living down the road. So
that's how you get your
winning.
One
of my questions was here is, number one was why do you do it? Number two was how do you win? So you don't win in your sport, but in their sport they win.
Well, what I do and what a lot of birders do is not sport.
No.
It's basically a way of life. It's just enjoying nature around you. So there's no win. The winning is getting up in the morning and seeing stuff. That's what's winning.
So the distinction being that you enjoy what's around you rather than saying, right, I've got to go to Norfolk because there's a lesser spotted whatever it might be.
Well, to be honest, it's sometimes a bit of both, because birders twitch and twitchers bird. So sometimes I might get a message. For example, the last time I did a major twitch was about 7 years ago when a black lark turned up in Anglesey. Now, black lark comes from Kazakhstan. I thought to myself at the time, when will I ever get to Kazakhstan? So I just got in the car, drove overnight, saw this bird for 20 minutes on the list.
What was it doing here?
It's just bird, of course.
Family.
Distant
relative. But how many people were there? Because I bet there were hundreds, weren't there?
Hundreds. There's stacks of people in a line with their telescopes and cameras. It's quite fun. It's like a battery of people looking for, celebrities, perhaps.
Oh, God. You can hear a bird in the background now.
Yes.
You might as well just spin round because if you'd like to come and join us, because we can hear him talking. We'll talk about that buzzard in a minute. But we were just saying before, my friend Kerry had that experience. He was standing there and saw a load of people come. You know Kerry now, don't you? He investigated what was going on, saw all these twitchers, thought about it, wanted to make a documentary. Now he's become one. He says it's the most amazing hobby you can have is watching birds. Why is it so good?
It's amazing because it's so grounding. I mean, every day, I live in London, West London, so every morning I get out to my local patch, Wormwood Scrubs, which is a place where people associate a prison being there, but it's actually a park. And I just spend an hour walking around, and it doesn't matter what I see. It could be a blackbird, it could be something really rare, but it's just being out there and seeing nature and feeling it and connecting with it in the middle of a city. And it makes you it just sets you up for the rest of the day. You just feel great.
So Angela is here from Hawk on the Wild Side. She's brought in...
this is Bryn, the buzzard.
Bryn the buzzard. Can you get to see buzzards in London?
You can, yeah.
Manchester?
Buzzards. In fact, Manchester's a great place to see them as well, actually. But buzzards have become Britain's most common bird of prey after being so rare at one point. They're now roughly around about 50,000 pairs of buzzard now. Number 2 is sparrowhawk, and number 3, should I say, is kestrel, and that's decreasing. But buzzards have really taken advantage of the fact that there's lots of roadkill out there to feed on. They love rabbits as well, and they nest in woods, and they are spreading.
Oh,
that's right, isn't it? That's right.
We had one in our back garden, and it was holding down. I think it might have been a magpie it got hold of, and I just remember thinking, I'm actually a little bit scared. Because you just don't expect to see it in the city at all.
No, but that's the great thing about birding in cities, because people just expect to see pigeons. But when you actually go out and look and hear and listen, and you can see and hear so many different things. I mean, in Britain, the actual list of species seen is roughly nearly 600 since 1900 or whatever. And in cities like London, over 400 have occurred in London. So it just shows you that you can see such a wealth of different stuff if you look and see and basically look for it.
Is it cruel to look after birds and own them and fly them? Falconry, is that what it's called?
Falconry, yeah. Bryn was actually bred in captivity, and he spent his whole life in captivity. He's 3 now. So he doesn't know anything different. And we actually take him out over farmland, because I'm very lucky I live somewhere quite rural, and he gets to fly and do whatever he wants to do. And our job is to chase after him and see if he wants to come back to us. So any day he could just decide.
So the reality is he's free to fly.
He's free to fly. He chooses to come back to us, and he has a particular toy that he really likes, which is a pretend rabbit, and we pull that like mad things running across the field, and he loves to chase after that.
Right.
But you said before, David, about kind of listening. Now, I'm intrigued by the constant noise that the buzzards make it. So that must be a good skill to have. So you hear them say, oh, that's an X, Y, Z, or just knowing that there's something interesting around there. But by other birds making a noise, that maybe there's a predator around, possibly.
Yeah, I think it's all about connecting in with your environment. Once you actually start listening, you hear things. And it's not a question of actually, I've got to learn what that is, I've got to learn what that is. You just kind of, over a period of time, you begin to realise that that's a chaffinch, oh, that's a buzzard. You pick it up. And that's the great thing about birding. It's the discovery that happens on a daily basis. There's no national curriculum, there's no standard to reach or anything like that. It's up to you as to how much you want to get into it.
Give us some tips then. If someone's at home and they want to go birding, what's the first thing they have to do? Where do they go?
I think the first thing you have to do is open up your front door or your window, step out in your garden or walk out into the street and just sit down and just allow yourself to open your mind and listen. Because part of birding, a major part for me, is not so much the actual identification or listening, it's actually being aware and receptive to stuff and being open to the idea that anything can turn up anywhere at any time. And when you do that, I mean, this morning I was at one with Scrubs walking around and a hobby flew over. Now, a hobby is a type of falcon which migrates from Africa to live in Britain for the summer months and head back to Africa. And they normally spend their time in countryside, but now they're actually moving into cities. And to see one flying over my head is such a brilliant feeling, because you think to yourself, where's that bird been? It's travelled from Africa all the way to here. It's seen all these different things. It's avoided being shot as it flew across the Mediterranean to be here with me. And it's a really personal and amazing thing.
It's also if you want to be fashionable, it's becoming trendy and fashionable, isn't it? There's actually a film going to be about it soon, isn't there?
Yeah, it's called A Birder's Guide to Everything, starring Ben Kingsley, and it's a really nice little family film. But the great thing about it for me is the fact that it shows birders as real people, young people who are quite trendy and look as if they could be doing anything other than birding, but they're actually into it and actually getting really kind of excited by it, and it's great.
Yeah, I love your passion about it. You love them, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Binoculars, do you need those?
Yeah, I think, I started birding as a kid without binoculars. I had to force my mum to actually, break the bank to get me a pair. I only just recently paid her back, by the way. But yeah, binoculars are a good thing to have. But interestingly, you should get a pair of binoculars that suit you. Don't pick any pair of binocular up. It's all about fitting your face. And it's all about looking through them and making sure you can see one circle and not a figure of 8 like you do in the James Bond movies,
Yeah.
It's all about seeing it through properly, basically.
Just quickly, what does he eat? And how much?
Mostly chicken. He really likes rabbit, and he has a particular penchant for venison.
Oh! And how much does he eat a day?
Probably about 4 to 6 ounces of meat a day.
Right, okay. It's very focused.
Great, fantastic. I mean, I think that is the thing. I think if you spot one of those, that would be something that would get you going. If you are going to get into it, to see something that you don't expect to see in a city must be the greatest joy. If you're.
It is, and with buzzards, it's interesting because most large birds of prey you see soaring above cities or even in the countryside tend to be buzzards unless they're red kites, and red kites are reddish and have got a forked tail. But in Scotland and places like Wales as well, the buzzard is known as the tourist's eagle, because many people say, I've just seen an eagle. But in reality, it's a buzzard. Okay. But they're pretty big birds, actually, as you can see. When they glide, they're very majestic. Fantastic birds.
Brilliant. It's great. Lovely. Thank you. Thanks, David. Now, in just a minute, we're going to be chatting to George Ezra.